We talk a lot about how do you win games when the ball doesn't go in, and tonight was one of those nights where the ball didn't go in. Pretty ugly night, and yet I felt great about our offense. I felt great about the shots we got. I felt great about our execution. I thought that for obvious reasons, Coleman's triple-double, but more importantly, I think he's just special against the zone with his feel. And I knew we had the right guy to put in the middle. He played with great patience. He's a great pivot guy. That sounds corny, but you have to pivot a lot against the zone in the middle of it. And and that being said, I thought our guys did a terrific job, kind of sliding open spots. I have a hard time complaining about any of the shots that, that we took, but I thought we did a great job on Judah Mintz. I thought we did a great job on Joe. Made life tough. I thought our switching was really effective. And I thought in the second half we did a much better job of defensive rebounding, which allowed us to get out and get in transition. So a lot of lessons to learn. It's what we keep talking about, figuring out how to win when the ball doesn't always go in. It wasn't very pretty. We're a better team than that. We've been really sluggish in practice. We've been racked with the flu. We've had a ton of guys out. Dane's still feeling really bad. He's had it for 4 or 5 days. He's probably had it the worst. Terrence had it right before the Lindenwood game. So we've been racked with that. We need to get healthy, and obviously we start Big Ten play on Friday.
Questions? Start with Scott.
You mentioned the matchup with Syracuse in the zone might have been very well suited for Coleman. Is that the type of player that he can be more consistently for you?
I think he's been pretty good all season long. He's a great decision maker. When he tries to hit singles and not home runs every time, he's really good. And he's so good at the point of the press. I've been frustrated with him, challenged with him on the glass, because in some of our early stuff he was getting 10, 12 a night. Obviously he got back to that. But yeah, Coleman can be that guy, and that's what we see a lot of in practice, and know that he's got the skill set to be that guy.
Scott.
Assist on 21 of 24 made baskets. Is that because that's how you beat the zone?
Yes.
Or other parts of that?
Yeah, you look at they're one of the, when you play the zone, one of the things that you're not going to be very good against is the assist total of baskets. They give up a lot of assisted baskets, and that's just the nature of the beast. There's not as much dribble drive, and play into shots that way, or where you come off a ball screen and shoot a pull up. It's much more team-oriented, moving the ball. I thought we did a great job of that. I think we had 2 turnovers at half. And like I said, it's hard to complain. All I did was applaud them at half. We got great shots, and keep shooting them.
Jeremy.
Brad, you thought this team could be special defensively in the preseason. Are you seeing what you thought you'd see, and what's the next step for that?
Yeah, Big Ten play. We'll see. I think we've worn people out. I think we sped them up. I thought we got some non-handlers handling the ball. That's huge for us. I thought it played them into some short clock situations. They've got a little wheel action that they like to run. I don't know if they ran it one time tonight. And then I thought our switching really bothered Joe. Now they may beg to differ, but I thought it was pretty effective. And when we can do those things, it's a shorter clock to play against, and I thought it was pretty effective.
Coach, I know you say you like the shots that you got. Does that apply to Terrence too? 15 of his 17 were from 3. Would you like to see him getting downhill a little bit more?
Not against the zone. I mean, I got no problem with him. But he took one bad one quick in transition in front of me in the second half that I didn't like, because we're always going to get that one. But we all know Terrence can shoot and he can get going. A little out of rhythm. It took him. He was really winded. We tried to buy him as much time as we could because he's been 102-degree fever for a couple days.
Andy?
I guess with Coleman and kind of the pace of your offense and it seems like a lot of his passes are kind of touch passes or ones where the ball doesn't really stick to his hands very long. How much does he kind of determine, or I guess spread that kind of pace in the half court, if that makes sense?
Yeah, well, the one thing Coleman does is sees one pass ahead. He's gifted. There's not a lot of people that have that ability to, just see it. He knows where it's going beforehand, and that's why in our 5-out stuff against man, he's so good. He's a facilitator, and one of the things with Coleman, our team's dialing in on that, is the fact that he sees it, and now we got to make sure his teammates see it as well. But yeah, he's very gifted that way.
How pleased were you about RJ and how he was able to make an impact in that second half after the first half that he had?
Well, I loved his first play. The first play is something we haven't seen out of RJ. Go offensive rebound, and then he got it blocked. He was a little aggressive, and then he picked up a cheap second one. But yeah, that's really hard to do, is come back and just get your bearings about you when you've been sitting out a long time. I tried to put him in for a minute or two just to stay somewhat warm in the first half, but yeah, it's good to see because he's starting to play well.
In the way back?
Last Big Ten ACC Challenge game. How does that kind of affect your non-conference scheduling going forward, knowing that you're going to lose a Power 5 game?
Yeah, it's been a topic of conversation in our office today. Last couple of days. Excuse me. I think we all know that all good things must come to an end. This has been a good thing for a lot of years, we'll set out. We're always going to play one of the toughest schedules in the country. I believe we should play. I'm a big fan of home and homes on campuses, so that our fans get to enjoy this. I think that's one of the beauties of this. We'll set out and go try to find somebody to start a series with, and we'll see how things continue to develop as a lot of things could possibly change over the next few years in our landscape.
Brad?
Matt Meyer, at the end of the game, I noticed you were giving him, commending him because of him diving on the floor. Is that kind of
Winner. He is a winner. He knows all about winning. It doesn't matter the score. It doesn't matter. He made those same plays in the UCLA game. Dove on the floor in the UCLA game. He saved an out-of-bounds pass against the press against UCLA. And good things are coming. I mean, I told him he may have to get his mullet back to get that jump shot to fall, because he's getting great looks and he's making them in practice, and he's working at it. But that's what we brought Matt in here for. I mean, Matt knows how to win. He knows what it takes, and he's done that since high school.
Derek?
The crowd seemed to be trying to will Coleman to shoot a little more in the middle of that zone. How did you kind of assess his approach there? And he turned it up a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, but it was about being patient and making the right reads. Sure, he could have shot probably 30 balls tonight. But again, a smart player knows, let me give my teammates some good looks. And we had a pretty good Colgate against them, put a guy in there who couldn't shoot, and just did a lot of the same things. And again, it's a tribute to Coleman, because he would rather make the pass than the shot. And yet he's a very good shooter. So he's very unselfish that way, and yet when the opportunities were there, I thought in the second half he took some of the right ones.
Coach in the back?
Brad, 100 wins at Illinois. What does it mean to hit that milestone?
Yeah, a lot of really good players, a lot of great coaches, administration who helped us survive early. It doesn't happen. I'm the beneficiary of that. I'm grateful. I've said it many times. I couldn't imagine doing it anyplace else. I love this place. I love our fans. I love the fact that you all care about us enough to write about us and follow us. And, you know, I hope there's 100 more and counting, you know, in the future. I think this program can elevate to levels that we haven't seen yet. There were some hard times, and I don't forget those. You know, I hope the next 100 don't take as long as this one will. And that's, you know, that means we've sustained a level of success that we didn't have the first 2 years.
Right.
Coach, you always talk about Coleman and finding that balance between, you know, being a playmaker and also a shooter. How do you think he did tonight in that category?
I thought he was great. You know, I thought he, you know, again, I think every scenario is different. And tonight was a night that I thought he, the game demanded him to facilitate. There's going to be nights when instead of making 9, we're going to make 19 of those shots. And again, we've just been a little bit off, but I think Coleman generates most of those, and we got good looks. So you know, there's nights I got to tell him to, you know, I don't know whether early games he didn't shoot, and you know, like that's not acceptable. You know, you can be a bad player by being unselfish, but tonight he was tremendous.
Scott?
Did you have the sense that this was a team that defensively wouldn't let those missed shots maybe weigh them down?
I don't know that. I didn't know that. I mean, we found that out a little bit in, you know, our secret scrimmage. We found that out a little bit in what was the first game we were 1 for, or UMKC, or what was one of those games we were 1 for 18? Yet we still guard. That's all we talk about, though. That's all we. How do we win when you don't make shots? Because it's coming. We can only get them really good shots. We can't make them for them, and so we better figure out how to win. And I thought we did a solid job on the offensive glass, and then we did that. So I don't know if I had a feeling for that, but that's one of the things we've always tried to do. And now we're trying to get this team to take the next step, which is just win possessions. Simplify it. We didn't score, we better get a stop so we don't lose that possession. And you know, it's what we talked about in the last media timeout. Hey, let's get a basket, let's go down and get a stop. And that's how you build leads. That's how you come back from deficits. And we got to sometimes think different, but we're doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Gavin?
Was it precautionary to hold since you're out after that, or?
No, it was more. I didn't know what his actually injury was for a little bit, and you know, just one of those things. Kind of guys were in a good rhythm. We miss him. We got to have him, and I know he's in a good place. Injury's not serious, so we'll need him on Friday.
Jeremy?
Brad, I know you switch a lot, but how much do you trust Sky and Jaden guarding right now, defending?
A lot. I've said that one of the things we have is a group of freshmen who are physically strong enough. You know, Ty Rogers in that mix. You know, Sky did an unbelievable job picking up a foul just because he fought. You know, and on the post. I think we got guards who understand it. I think most importantly, Jeremy, they're pretty tough. You know, Terrence in that mix, and they fight for their position. And, you know, we still got to get better at doing it. We still got to get better defensive rebounding out of it. But you know, it's still November.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.